underneath heaven area. Drops below, takes out 1 and 2, finds them both there. Really nice play from Benji. Redux, super aggressive, is going to take out, and going to take out slow motion there. Singularity finding Munchie as well. So a lot of kills coming in fast here. Operator in the garage here, gonna find a nice shot through the wall onto slow motion and another one. Taken down by the classic from Dip. Slow motion does find the kill and finds another. Definitely tough. They do push really hard in here, and Tizon does get a kill, but oh my god! Scrounge comes in playing on his steering wheel, and now the push does come in. Shade does get verified. Now in a 2 versus 1 scenario, Munchie takes out Shade, has to stop Dip, who is sticking this defuse. He doesn't seem to notice though. He's not gonna get around the corner. Cypher cam through the smoke. Benji, though, gonna come flying in, taking care of Chip. He isn't gonna find the headshot that he needs. The angle is going to get swung instead by his teammates, who are all going to fall. Perseverance goes down there to Dip as well.
I survived obliteration. I will survive.
Welcome to GLG, your 80s Valorant aerobic workout show, and we are here to bring you another Pit of Valor. It's myself, Seymour, alongside Kag. We're here to bring the heat, we're here to bring the fun and the energy. That all starts off with this Pit of Valor.
Yeah, that's right, Seymour. We got those baby back ribs today. See all these amazing different teams coming in here today. And from the looks of it, we're going to be having some brand new teams to start things off here today. And given the map bans that we've already seen too, Seymour, we're going to be going to a very interesting map.
Well, you know, we've already
Guess.
swamped...
Yes!
Well, I'm guessing. Hold on. Let me use my brain power here. Bind! Bind,
yeah,
maybe?
Yeah, it is Bind. The
Oh.
most unoriginal map.
I mean, Bind's always fun to play, and, you know, I said classic. It's literally a staple of the Valorant community. We always go to Bind. We always play Bind, so why not start off with Bind? You know, it's opposed to other weeks as well, Keg, you know, where we will have a lot of Ascent over that Bind, so, you know, if I'm going to pick one, I'd rather go to Bind.
That's right. It's really putting us into a bit of a bind right now, going back to this map yet again. But this is also probably next to Ascent the most competitive map in Valorant. So being able to see what these teams can do up against each other, and with only really just the gimmick of a teleport, it's not really that big of a deal having one advantage side or another advantage side. So bringing things down to bind will really test the strength between these two teams. But Seymour, I don't think we've talked about the teams yet.
You know, we haven't talked about Nautic or Mongols at all in this, because technically we thought they were going to switch up to a new team, but here they are, ready to go. Nautic on the defense for the start, Mongols on the attack. 2 new teams to the Pit of Valor that I've never seen before. I don't know if you've seen them here, but I'm excited to see
Brand
what
new.
they can bring. And, you know, we're going to look at this agent ban right away as the teams are ready to go to this bind map. Okay, you know, these teams are new to it, but what do you want to see in the agent pick?
I like to really see a lot of Killjoy when it comes to Bind. I think we don't get to see her enough, and when she does come out, she's really powerful. But right away, Nautic want to go for the Cypher pick. We can see Loser Guy 420 already choosing... Oh, I'm sorry, it's Laser Guy, not Loser. I need glasses, Seymour. He's going to be coming over to the Cypher pick as well, so this might be a double Sentinel at that kind of more static utility. But the Sova, if we see both on both sides, I think we're pretty much going to see a standard part of the course. Maybe they flank, maybe they don't flank on both sides. B-side is going to be extremely dangerous, though, regardless of how each attacking team wants to go down. But my favorite thing about both of these, as far as we can tell, the Omen versus the Brimstone.
Yeah, it's always a tale when it comes to bind, especially in the GLG Pit of Valors. You know, the Omen, Brimstone back and forth. It's a battle to be sought after. But I'm really interested in this Reyna pick. If Yo Mom picks your Reyna, you know, a couple things happened today. You know, Reyna got tinkered with a little bit. So seeing her come into this map, a little bit surprising to me. Matching up with the Phoenix, you know, Phoenix is always good. But I honestly would rather see the Raze instead of the Reyna. What do you think about that?
You know, given the Rays and the Rain are really interesting, we do see a lot of raises. Even yesterday's qualifiers, we saw TCAS bringing out the Rays instead of the typical Reyna pick that they bring on Ascent, and it did a really, really good job having that physical utility that not only damages people, but also finds a lot of intel in the process. It's kind of hard to beat when it comes to a map like Bind. But one thing I'm really surprised that we're not seeing, and well, maybe I shouldn't be surprised, is that we're not seeing Yoru even after his given buffs.
Well, I would say, I mean, the buffs are a little bit crazy for Yor. I don't think it's so much for that. Yeah, he gathers a little bit more intel on his invis, but, you know, It's still
Hey,
really
look,
hard,
I'll
I
take
feel like, to
anything to see a Yoru, all right? I have
yeah,
never
yeah,
casted one.
okay, I'll take that, I'll take that. You know, his pop flashes are interesting. I wouldn't mind to see them come into play, but definitely gonna have to see what this Reyna can offer in the setup, as they are gonna be starting off with a pistol round early.
Now, I think you can see this on stream too, and I just want to take a very quick note that a 1.12 sensitivity is outrageously high for Valorant. If you want to have a really good time, if you want to be a pro player like the rest of the people in Valorant side, you definitely want to have less than a 1.0 sensitivity rating. See, for me, I struggled for the longest time, Seymour. What I found was that raising my DPI, my mouse, really high helped a lot, and then putting the sensitivity really low. Well, it's not going to be so low, it's uncreative. He's able to find a double kill with
Ooh.
the paint grenades.
That's pretty creative. Two players already down. He's got a classic in hand, and Seabass to close out with two more. Last player standing is going to be the Sova, caught red-handed. Sexy Wet Noodles is no more for this pistol round. Defenders start off hot.
That is a quality name. Do you think you can have sexy dry noodles?
I mean, you could have sexy dry noodles. I don't see why not. You know, I'm sure there's people out there that are into that stuff.
I think all noodles are sexy.
I mean, you know, like what kind of noodles do you prefer? Like, I think pho is my favorite noodles kind of concoction. Ramen's good.
You know, I'm not really sure like the different kinds of noodles. I like angel hair because I can eat them raw and feel good about myself. But Nautic should be feeling pretty good too. They won the first round here. They won the pistols. So after Nautic won, it was now up to Mongols. They have to have a bit of a disadvantage, but they're already buying up in the stingers, and they've recently gone over some changes as well.
You see Slacker. The flash is actually going to land on him. Blocked off by this Brimstone smoke. Peppers some shots through. Not going to land on anything. Getting pretty hot-handed out there from this Phoenix. And Trezor already opening up with the first blood. Instantly answered back from three. Nautic is going to close back on this attack. And what I thought was a really good break. Shut down immediately by Nautic.
I mean, let's give credit to Uncreative too. That is now 5 total kills in the cross of 2 rounds, at least as far as we can tell. The first round was 2 paint grenade kills, stuffing everybody out inside of Hookah, and then after that, a triple on B-side yet again. You would think after the first round, and well, given the aging composition too of a Sova and a Cypher, that maybe A-site would be an easier solution, and yet, going into this third round, they're still trying to go for B.
His aggressiveness through showers. Going to grab that ultimate orb. You look at the defenders here. They're gathering towards market as well as A main. The Reyna looking to burst through. We've already seen 2 B hits. The spread from the attackers, you know, they haven't decided which one they're going to. Playing for an attack. Boomba gives some information to these defenders, but not really a whole lot to go off of because they haven't decided which side to go to.
Watch out.
Look at now, the positioning not quite its way into B just yet. Seabass is able to find Trevor, and that's going to be the only Hookah presence we've seen up until Trevor's going to push as well. Look at that, it's not going to last very much longer. Optimus Prime is going to fall as well, but they're just not even able to get close to B.
This Marshall, ever since the buff it got today, you know, I expect to see a lot of it, and definitely not it coming out very strong with this scout rifle. Gonna grab the Altor, grab the Blade Storm as well for next couple rounds. Teleport's gonna be out. The pinch on Yo Mom. Reyna, no more. There's another round to Nautic as they're up 3-0 now.
You know, you would think after the first few attempts that they probably should try A-site. And yet we did see a bit of a split push going into the last round, and they still dedicated the B. Now, Seabass on the Marshall has been absolutely scary, and I guarantee you if they can win this next round, we're going to see an evolution from that Marshall to the op. But yet, it still seems like it could go and lean towards a B hit this next round, but things are leaning towards A for the Mongols, so we're going to have to wait and see if this split push is going to work. But look how aggressive the defense is being.
Already the showstopper coming out with a kill. Laser guy out of the rounds. This A hit already split up a little bit through shower. Slacker is going to find his demise. And the run it back pulled as well to escape from the showers and give a little bit of space towards this A site. Optimus Fine going to pull down on Uncreative. Give the site to the attackers and possibly give them a plant as well.
Yeah, look at this. They're spreading themselves out on Mongol side. Absolutely looking great, especially hidden away inside of green boxes. The Owl Drone is going to spawn out one, but definitely going to be hidden away for the Phoenix still. Now Rams will drop, immediately gets picked out by Trevor, but there's still one left alive. It's going to be the Sova. He has to push his way forward, but he's completely surrounded. There's no environmental protection, but Coggle still makes it work. He has to go around the boxes. Seymour, he's able to find a second one. Can he get a third?
Last one there, just to his left, has to tag the bomb. It's a Sova against Arena, and the Reina's gonna take that challenge and take the kill. Coggles with a very good 2 kills, can't close out with that third in the first round to the attackers.
The going to A site worked, and Onyx played that very aggressively too. You would think they kind of bonused up a little bit more. They played a little too out of their own reach, I think, and they got immediately the opening pick. But from there, well, they just kind of got picked off one by one. It allowed Mongols with a 3-to-2 ratio going straight to the site, getting the spike down and repositioning themselves while everyone on B site for Nautic had to scramble through a same exact narrow archway that we see every single time.
Yo, mom. A little bit passive here, set up with the Reina. Probably watching off on this rotation because the aggressiveness from the defenders have been there all day long. Creative's going to find one, but it's going to be dropped to the Brimstone. Seabass getting aggressive right behind that raise. Take another one out of the play. Big chance for this Jet to have a crossfire from both angles of the A site. They're going to clear U-Haul, spot the Sova. Put a lot of presence into their Slacker's not even going to take it down. Takes the Phoenix, so they still know the Sova is on site. Paranoia. Gonna catch the site off from the Sova. They're gonna be pushing it. Cargo's gonna take down Yo Mom on the opposite side, and Slacker closes off for another defender round.
Beautiful round again coming out from Nautic's side. They adapted around exactly what Mongols had done in their only winning round. You would think the Mongols might try to divvy things up a little bit more and try to go for a new strategy, but really, beat for beat, Mongols tried to do the same exact thing 2 rounds in a row. They tried to recreate magic, and that simply didn't work. They have to think one step ahead right now. Nautic, of course, they completely relegated away B site. By the end of the round, it was completely empty. They had tripwires to work with, and they know now that they can just let go of a site and maybe even potentially 5-stack it without much worry. But look at this here.
From the defenders going to come out with this operator. They should know. I mean, they've been here all the time. Seabass opening up with a big kill on that operator. Second from the raise, and even more from this Jet. And the escape solid, but goes for the raid shell. The Phoenix taking this tag through the wall, and Slacker finishes it up.
I mean, Seabass got the Waterstone. He went from the Marshal. He has the op now, and he has been destroying everybody. And yet, even then, that whole round was just down B long, and they were able to make it work. But Uncreative has been the hero for these frags. Going 10-4 right now, them, just like what we saw from Governor and TCAS yesterday, Seymour, it has just been unparalleled with these duelists. Mongols aren't in really much of a different position either. They have what it takes to have these aggressive duelists to go, furious mode. But they need to use their ults. We have 3 on the board now for Mongols, and especially using the Hunter's Fury and the Hellfire, they could take over a site super easily, but they have to win the opening engagement.
Went for that aggressive op shot again, but a lot more passive from these attackers. They're not going to give it away just yet. The Owl Drone is going to spot the Cypher in. U-Haul even push back, sees the escape back. 2 defenders spawn, but unchecked here. They're back in U-Haul. So it might be a good opportunity to stop this attack. The flash is going to come from that Phoenix. Slacker still going to take him down. A big pre-fire puts the advantage, but Brimstone ulti burned as well. Only minimal damage on site. Spike is planted, but the trades are favoring Nautic. Creative on this flank. Showstopper inbound. Cypher's down before you even need the Showstopper, and the trades are just all Nautic. It's a flawless round.
Yeah, another flawless round coming out from Nautic's side. Seymour, I mean, at this point, we saw the Hellfire, we saw the positioning clearing away on Lamp's side, so they have definitely the idea of what they want to do to execute the round, but there's nothing on the attacking side to slow down these pushes from the defense. Whether they push showers, whether they push A long, or even anywhere on B, they just get aggressed upon. They get in these 1vx scenarios and get completely caught off guard. So it's going to be up to these next rounds, given though it is a complete broken buy from Mongol side, to kind of just hold on to their economy. It's not too late. And given now that the Stingers have been changed, we're seeing much more Bulldogs come into action, but they still have to go up against an op and a flurry of Phantoms.
Oh, they've had such demise on rifle rounds that you have to wonder, is this force buy even worth it? But they want to give it a shot just to break through the Nautics. You see the Cypher is going to tag up the Phoenix, but even spray through to find Optimus. Big shots from afar. The fadeaway is going to give the advantage to Nautic early and slow down the stack even longer. Run it back going to be pulled from Mongols. Let's see if they can find anything into the U-Haul. And not a chance. Ramser going to shut him down with Slacker and Coggles breaking through this attack even farther. You know, this Mongols setup, they just don't have an answer for Nautic in any situation.
The best thing to give for an answer from Mongol side would just be to rotate. They're throwing ults at Nautic side, they're pushing very linearly, and while there have been some showings of them going for a split push, that hasn't worked either. The one thing we haven't seen from Mongols, and we're about a quarter of the way, a little bit over a quarter at this point, through this first half, would be to bring out a rotate. And that would easily clear up all their problems. And yet here we go again, a complete linear push going into B site. Look at the teleports coming on through as well. It's not going to be a whole lot for Showers though, but we do see some opening gunfights happening outside of Hookah without any answers.
Well, it's the first time we've seen Seabass drop early from this op, but instantly recovered from Uncreative, who got the trade of the Jet. Now you have your eyes on the spikes. You're going to be watching for the pickup, and a huge interaction from Yo Mama. Big opening for this B site. Now the best chance they have, Uncreative shutting it down. Let's see what else this Raze can do. Aggressing back into Hookah with this boomstick. Spots the rifle, takes the kill, the third in the round. And just absolute disarray is the attack for the Mongols.
Oh, disarray is a really good way of putting this, Seymour. Look at where the last two of Mongols are right now. Separated away completely, having to encroach their way on the A site. No intel, no recon bolts. It's gonna be Rams finding wet, sexy noodles. And yet the spike is in the ground, the middle of shore. Can this Brimstone find anything? No, because Rams is there for two. It's tough, you know, because we did see an attempt of a rotate, but even then, the numbers were so thin on Mongol's side, and they didn't push in as a team. They went in individually one by one. Spike in hand going first, by the way. There was no chance of clearing things out with a bit of a barrier. And yet, Nautic are just having a really good time finding these opening picks.
I mean, you should expect the aggression, shouldn't you, Keg, after the amount of
Yeah.
times you've lost that first blood. And you know, Trevor gets a really good opening onto Seabass, but Uncreative there to step up to the plate.
And they need to step up and get a home run right now because we only see the Hunter's Fury that's been in possession for them for a very long time. But again, these Shower Warriors are able to find everybody. This steamy, soapy mess, cleaning everybody they see. But Seabass, the only one in contention for a Hunter's Fury, is not going to find a whole lot either from the end of Wet Sexy Noodles. And yet they surround them again.
The flank from the TP. The collapse on this attack. The Hunter's Fury was burned, but nothing to amount to from that ultimate. And we've seen 4 ultimates get used from the Mongols now. I think 2 run it backs actually, and no value whatsoever. That first round that they picked up back in round number 4 seems to be what I could call a fluke.
Man, I don't want to call it a fluke. That's not nice, but I mean, Mongols just found exactly what to do for a single round. They had spent every single round before they had won going to B side. They spent 3 rounds before that just chasing down B. And yet the one time they go to A, catches Nautic off guard, and since then, Nautic has been adapting. They've been able to rotate really fast, and they seemingly always have an idea of where these attackers are going to be. But we haven't switched sides yet, Seymour, and that's important to remember because there's always a chance that maybe they're just a heavily defender-sided team.
So much information to the B side. Hunter's Fury going to be thrown afar. The rotation back to A through the market for the attackers. Big chance not the TPs come on board, but still you're losing members back at the B side. You have to be a little bit anxious now pushing onto A. It's going to be a free plant, but the retake's been so solid from Nautic. Let's see how they can do it.
Oh, this is exactly beat for beat the same exact story we saw where Mongols won their first and only round. Look at the slower rotates coming out from Nautic's side. The core difference this time is that the rotates are coming from the southern side of the map. They're going to catch these attackers off guard. Uncreative pushing his way through. Pain Grenades not too far away. They're going to hit from both ends. They're going to try to peanut butter and jelly sandwich them. Uncreative with the showstop, able to find one. But look at this. Seabass doesn't care. He tries to find the eyes of one, but it's too late.
Big round for Nautic there. Just absolute demonstration of how good they are for their retakes in that sense. I mean, the collapse from all angles, the TP giving them a chance to push through showers, A main, as well as CT spawn. Just a brilliant move in their sense to time it to put Mongols in just a very questionable position. Last round here, Keg.
It's the last round, and I would say it's probably the last and final chance for Mongols to bring it back. They need to win one more attack. They have to if they want to have a chance in the second half. We did put the idea in the head that maybe Mongols are just a heavily defender-sided team, but even then, you don't want to have a 10-round buffer between yourself and the winning team here. And this is the best of one, too, Seymour. There's no second chances here. You can't flop on Bind and hope for the best in the next games. No! And things are still looking more in the favor of these defenders.
Look at the amount of damage that Rams was able to put through on A long. Lots of multiple players for Mongols, but trades do come out favoring Nautic. It's only one pick gone. Seabass with the Blade Storm finds the head of the sexy wet noodles. The Reyna still raining terror here. Gonna pull this Empress for the first time, and the Brimstone ulti going to back up and give some space to the entry for this Empress ulti. And in fact, they're actually gonna take their sights back to the A side of the map. Slacker, this TP, they should anticipate that it's somewhere close. The TP from behind. Uncreative going to be dropped now. Slacker as well. Yo Mom turning up finally in a 1v2. Making a 1v1. Empress is good. Yo Mom turns up.
Holy crap, they made it work. They have a chance to bring this back on the defense, and that was all thanks to your mom, Seymour.
Thanks. Thanks, Keg. I'm so glad that she can bring something to this game.
Decent nerfs. The Empress is still just as strong, such as strong and strengthening as it was before, bringing things back with a force into a 4K for Yo Mama. That was fantastic to see, but now they have to recreate that magic all over again on the defense. Mongols didn't really seem to have much of a game plan going into it. The final stretches of these rounds seemed to be a little bit more in their favor, but then again, they're always at such a huge disadvantage that they usually can't possibly win. The power of an ult, like that Empress though, levied the odds, and they were able to get their second round on the board. But we're returning again to pistols. No more frenzies, the meta is dead, but that might give a much more even chance to both teams as they push through on B.
Last time we saw a pistol round, Mongols, they look stuck but now it's their turn to push back on the defensive side. See what they can do to halt Nautic. The attack looks like it's going to be stemming through Hookah. Already jumped out. Brimstone Smoke's not really going to amount to a slow play. Seabass going to open up with the first. Traded out from the Frenzy, but still walking on forward is this Raze Uncreative. Knows there's a player in defender spawn, but are you going to be ready for two? The Reyna's going to be on the other side. Yo Mom takes it. Another staple to what this Reyna can bring.
3v3 now, spikes in the ground. Cargos is able to even out the odds a little bit more, but it's still a back and forth. The double Sova still left alive on each team, but even then, is that going to be enough? The answer might be yes. These attackers get the advantage. One defender left alive, but then again, look at that. This Phoenix will have to take down two different people, detected right off the rip, and he's surrounded by the enemy. Of course he's going to fall.
That Sova dart mixed with the Paranoia was such a big combination from Nautic to give Coggles that ability to push from defender spawn into that gunfight safely and have the advantage over sexy wet noodles in that sense. And I just have to say, I love what I'm seeing from Nautic all game long. I can't beat the dead horse enough at how much this team is just better in this first round for the Pit of Valor. What I'm seeing, I'm excited to see what they can bring in the next couple rounds.
What it seems like from Nautic is that they're a much more well-coordinated team. That's not too late for Mongols, though. They can bring it back. Look at the coordination here, though. We see the early rotates coming out from Nautic's side, but it might be too little too late. The triple rush coming out into Lamps. Look at that. They're all on the kill feed.
The Boomba with a kill, too. How often do you get to see that, Keglinuk? The last two players stuffed back into their spawn. The Brimstone's going to be the next to fall. The last one standing's Laser Guy, and, you know, not too many lasers firing from his eyes, because he's in his grave. Flawless round for round number 12 to Nautic.
They just cannot beat the aggression. And a lot of the teams that we have seen at GLG recently, Seymour, have been going for this really aggressive notion. And we say it, we beat it to death, like you mentioned, but it works. And that's why I was really expecting to see a Killjoy. It's not an end-all be-all solution, but at
Yeah.
least it's a band-aid to stop some of the push with a turret in the way. Even the mollies that we see quite a bit on B for Bind could work. But no, instead both teams decide to opt for a Cypher pick, and we haven't seen any of that utility work on either side.
I think they're going to go for a Boomba clear to Hookah. Nobody occupying it, so pretty easy clear for these attackers to occupy this section. Going to be tripped up by the Tripwire. Brimstone Smoke going to slow it down, but Judge
Holy
on
crap.
site is going to be headhunting. The Showstopper for the second is actually going to miss. Only do a little bit of damage to Yo Mom, so a chance for these defenders to pull it back as they fall in their sights. Rams Wolf takes down those sexy noodles, then stuck in elbow. Coggles is going to take down Trevor. That's a round one for the Pit of Valor. A dominant 13-12 from Nautic. And a big game from these new blood players.
There wasn't ever a position where Nautic seemed like they were on the back heel. They always had a plan, and they always executed it. Mongols, on the other hand, kind of played it by ear, and I think they may have been a few years behind at times. At the end of some rounds, they showed some brilliance. The round where we saw Yo Mama take a 4K with the Empress, they had taken the teleporter from B-Long onto the side of A, going showers, and they played magnificently there. The issue is that there was a lot of team play from Nautic's side, but there was only one or two really individualistic plays coming out from Mongols that even gave them 2 rounds.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Nautic coming out with a hot start to the Pit of Valor. We're going to throw it to a quick break. We'll be back with round 2 of the Pit of Valor, so stay tuned for some more Valor in action.
You and me, we both live life at full speed, easy to see. When we collide, no one walks away easy. I never thought you'd be the one. I never meant to take your heart. I never felt so hard. I never meant to be the one. I never thought I'd break your heart. was so fast, all tied up like a captive. I'm on to you. Used to pay to my own life, standing on rainbows, playing it cool. I don't felt this in ages, and I've no more patience. So won't you please stay a bit longer? You're making me stronger, making me stronger. Stay a bit longer. You're making me stronger, making me stronger. You're
Welcome back, beautiful GLG people. We are live. Taking over with me right now, and I gotta always get this direction right. Boom, there it is. Endless is with me here, guys. Endless, how are you, man? How's everything going?
I'm doing really good. I mean, this is again Pit of Valor every Wednesday, and super excited to see what all the teams have to offer. We just got done our second qualifier yesterday, so congrats to On the Way, which will be advancing to our grand finale event along with 3 other teams that placed top 4. So that's really exciting.
Yes.
We got some familiar teams today. I mean, Anbu Ops, Attack Mode, which we're about to watch as well. Hyperspace Dark, who are actually the sponsors of our third qualifier. So for those that haven't signed up yet, make sure you sign up, because who wouldn't want a chance to win $2,000?
Okay, let's be honest here. 2 grand ain't no joke. We talked about it yesterday, and touching on a couple great points. Endless, you and I got to cast a whackload of matches these past 2 days, and I mean the competition was absolutely insane. The level of play we saw yesterday. I mean, seeing some familiar faces. I got to see a little bit of J. Cruel there, which was really cool. But also, like, just all in all, we saw a great diversity of maps. And coming into today, we are going to be playing, or sorry, casting a match here, attack mode. And you guys got to work with me on this one. Fluffy Flying Hamsters. Let's be honest here. Now that's a name, right? That's awesome. So I don't know if we call them FFH or Fluffy Flying Hamsters. If I do say Fluffy Flying Hamsters and I trip over my tongue, you guys cannot get mad at me, because that's a handful in a bit. But and the cool thing here, guys, is we're playing on patch 2.03. I don't know if you guys have had the chance to read through this, but there's been some changes. Champions have been kind of altered. We've had a little bit of adjustment to Reina. Yoru, which we haven't seen too much of, has gotten a little bit of TLC as well. Mild